Under a light drizzle, the day stood as true inspiration in this valley, as if nature itself wept for the impending clash. Water droplets, like tears of the heavens, gently fell to the ground, creating invisible runes on fields and pathways. The sparkle of raindrops in the sunlight bestowed enchantment and mystique upon the surrounding world. On the horizon, mountains shrouded in a veil of mist. And at the heart of this valley, on the ground still warm from the morning rays, Tivad stood defiantly before a massive enemy army. Everything around seemed to tune in to the battle. The sound of rain rhythmically falling on the ground like a drumbeat heralding a fearsome moment. The wind fearlessly playing with leaves akin to a virtuoso musician on strings. The sounds of nature as if voices of higher forces supporting the participants of the impending duel. Warriors, excited and resolute, prepared for confrontation, their armor glistening in the rain, a symbol of strength and bravery. The gentle breeze carried the sounds of their solemn oaths, resonating in the air like a call to battle. Gideon, enchanted by the creature far in the woods, couldn't tear his gaze away from it. Tivad makes a remark.
Fear not, little one. As before, I'll do all the work for you, and you will need to invoke the power of the gods. As always, pitiful worm.
Gideon clarifies his question.
We can handle it, even without it.
Tivad shows interest.
We? You can be amusing sometimes, Gideon.
Gideon draws a conclusion.
Very, very, very strange. Listen, brother, doesn't it all this strategy remind you of anything?
Tivad remembers.
Of course I figure it out. The tactics of Jeddah in a battle of Tartar.
Gideon shares his thoughts.
There were more of us, but still, it's very strange that such a scatterbrain as Glick could organize such a tactic in his army. Something is definitely odd.
Tivad shows determination.
Who cares? Your end will come soon.
Gideon implores.
Brother, please use your brains. This might mean that it's all Jeddah's plan. And if he sends them, we need to mobilize the entire army.
You seem to have forgotten what I told you. Interfere, and you'll be a corpse.
But brother, this can be very dangerous. Please allow me to return to the castle and bring the army together with Othniel and give the commander the order to prepare all the Ekans.
Don't be a coward, you piece of shit. Stand still and watch how real wars are fought.
Tivad steps forward and slowly begins to unfasten all his armor, starting with the shoulder pads. Glick raises the battle standard, barely visible. The War Axe warriors notice this and start heading towards Tivad from all sides.
Looks like I definitely can handle this without God's power. Finally, something fun.
Saying the last words, he unfastens the final piece of armor and remains with a half-bared torso. Gideon's gaze fixates on the armor lying on the ground. Tivad tramples the armor. Meanwhile, in the castle, Commander Othniel arranges 100 soldiers into battle formation at the gates. Sero approaches him.
Commander, didn't the Emperor demand to stay in the castle in case of an attack from the vulnerable side? All the best warriors are all out here, and I'm obligated to protect the Emperor, no matter what, old man. Even against his orders.
Othniel ignores Sero. Staromir approaches Sero, moving slowly with the help of his staff. He feels Sero's hand and sits nearby.
Sero, you know perfectly well that the commander is right. Divan, strong as he is unlikely to withstand the Southerns alone.
Othniel rushes to the gate guards.
Hey you! Quickly open the gates!
The Dane warriors exchange glances with each other.
Listen to me! if you don't open the gates now. Believe me, you'll die before Tivad's and that fucking Sith retribution reaches you.
The warriors slowly begin to open the gates. Staromir approaches Otniel.
Protect him at all costs. Otherwise, we'll die in terrible agony. Of course, since I've signed up for it, we'll do everything. And may Hera be with you. Believe me, old man, there's no need for that.
The gates creak open, splitting apart like ancient ruins under the pressure of a mighty collision. The 100 brave warriors under his command moved forward with unwavering zeal. Following Otniel was a bird, like a messenger of fate, its wings unfolded against the backdrop of the sky, soaring higher, embodying freedom and boundlessness. It dashed towards Tivad, who was still fearlessly advancing towards the waves of enemies. The army of Kirks followed Tivad like an invisible force stretched to its limit. Step by step, they moved forward, practically feeling the warmth of his determination. In this indescribable moment, the collision of destinies and forces became inevitable. The battle was close.
Let's have some big fun now.
The army reaches Tivad, and instantly the triangle of soldiers splits into 2 parts, encircling Tivad in a ring. Tivad stops.
This is something new.
The Kirk squad commander orders.
Position number 3!
Everyone lowers their spears and draws swords with black flames.
You think I fall for such a childish trick?
Saying this, Tivad tries to run towards one of the soldiers, but he fails. The circle moves to evade Tivad's attacks.
Alright. How about this?
Tivad transforms his hand using the power of the gods and shoots spikes from it, killing 4 soldiers by hitting them in the neck.
Well, did you expect that?
Before the last soldier finishes his words, the second line of Kirk defense replaces the fallen soldiers with ones wearing different armor.
So, you were prepared?
The Kirk squad commander gives an order.
Formation number 6!
Upon hearing this, the soldiers fire their bows. Tivad covers his eyes with his transformed hand. Darkness. Tivad slowly lowers his hand, and before us unfolds a scene. Arrows soaked in a yellow substance form a fiery circle around him. He stands, preparing for the inevitable clash with the Kirk's army. Time slows down.
What's this now?
The Kirk's commander raises a golden spear. Soldiers, seeing this, draw their spears.
On command!
The soldiers aim at Tivad, but abruptly step back.
Formation number 10! What?
Behind Tivad, Archiant emerges. A giant monster attacks Tivad with furious speed and throws him, tearing off Tivad's arm in the process. Tivad is thrown a couple of meters away and crashes into a stone, losing his limbs.